The Nigerian Senate has officially commenced deliberations on the long-debated proposal to establish state police across the country, making a significant step in Nigeria's policing effort to address growing security concerns and challenges. The move comes amid rising concerns over banditry, kidnapping, terrorism, and other violent crimes affecting many parts of the nation. Supporters of the state police argue that decentralizing law enforcement will improve intelligence gathering, enhance rapid response to local threats and crimes, and allow states to better protect their communities. They believe police officers familiar with local languages, culture, and norms and the terrain will be more effective in combating crime and insecurity.
We are standing with Nigerians on the issue of state police. Cross-section of Nigerians have made it clear that there cannot be a better time to have state police in Nigeria than now. And that's where we stand. Where do we come in? Where we come in is to now help translate this popular desire of the Nigerian people into reality as elected representatives of the Nigerian people. It may be said, it may be, you may sing with it, you may joke with it, you may just do anything about it. People may even shed tears until it is law. It does not happen. And that's where the parliament comes in. We came to a conclusion that we are going to pass the constitutional amendment with respect to making provision for the state police. And if I can tell you as of today, that will come to fruition this very week, because there is no need, to allow any further delay in it. And again, speaking to our style in the 10th Assembly, there have been a series of meetings, all right, between the National Assembly, and when I say the National Assembly, the team of the National Assembly led by the chairman of the Senate Committee on Constitutional Review, where I'm the vice chairman. The chairman, as you know, is His Excellency Senator Jubril Barau, who is the Deputy President of the Senate. And the chairman of the House Committee on Constitutional Review is also the Deputy Speaker, His Excellency Distinguished Senator Ben Kalu, representing the National Assembly. There have been a series of meetings with the Office of the Attorney General, the Chief of Staff to the President, the Inspector General of Police, and other stakeholders. Very serious meetings in the last 1 week. And that's why I can sit here and tell you that, we are pursuing that this week. It's probably going to be the most important, the most topical and most crucial issue we'll be dealing with as a parliament this week. And what we have resolved to do is to isolate it from the rest of the bills that will have proposed constitutional amendments, so that we can vote on this ASAP in the National Assembly, so that the bill can be on its way to the 36th State House of Assembly.
However, critics have raised concerns that state-controlled police forces could be abused by political office holders, leaders, and state governors to target opponents or oppress ordinary citizens. As a result of this, lawmakers are expected to carefully consider constitutional infringement and safeguard oversights in making such laws, and also make sure that accountability measures are taken priority. The Senate now actively working on the proposal. Nigerians will be watching closely as debates for and opposed state policing continue to widen and become the mainstay of conversation around insecurity in Nigeria. The question remains, will state police bring the security solution that Nigerians have long awaited for? Let's watch more videos as Nigerians react to this state policing.
State police will fail in Nigeria if the governors don't stop seeing every opportunity given to them as a revenue generation scheme. In Lagos, we have the Lagos State Task Force. In Ibadan, they have the anti-bust. All these task forces are created by the states, and Anybody that has experiences of these guys will tell you how the level of impunity they operate with, because they know that they are working directly with the state government, and there is very little that can be done from the IGP's office. This is why anything they do, they will say, I'm sorry, we are working for the state government. It's the state government that gave us this tax to do. What a lot of people don't understand about the Akerele-led task force in Lagos State is the fact that these guys report directly to the state government.
Arguments for state police are four main arguments. One is that it's better local intelligence, local delivery. Two is that it decentralizes the police system, because right now governors are seen as chief security officers and have no operational control of the police in the area. Three is that it is more responsive, quicker response times, because we have slow response times. An example of that is the Benue attacks in Yowata. And four is that it gives us true federalism, essentially, because right now we're not running a federal system. Now, I think these problems will be solved from better policing and better governance with the police we already have, because the arguments against state police are very strong, especially the possibility that they will become political weapons by governors. We already have disabuse of our police system, so centralizing power in governors, giving governors more power, even now that we already have poor local government delivery, for me is dangerous. Also, it's the possibility for future creation of militias outside of the control of a centralized system, also fractioning of police response, because a lot of things require cross-border responses. I also do not think this tackles the key issues with our insecurity. Every time I talk about insecurity, I talk about forests. If you look at the Kainji National Park, look at the attacks in Kwara, they came from Kainji National Park. If you look at the attacks in Oyo, they came from Kainji National Park. If you look at the attacks in Borgu in Niger, they came from the Kainji National Park through the Borgu Game Reserve. The first attacks that happened in Oyo and Ogbomosho, they killed National Park rangers. Kainji National Park connects northwest Nigeria to southwest Nigeria. It spans through different states, Niger, Oyo, Kwara. If we look at our parks, that is where we have the terrorist enclave. So if we have better forest guards who know forests better than the police, and we have better responses from our actual police, and if police leave barracks and actually live within the communities that they are policing, I think we'll have better police and no need for state police. There are still conversations to be had about the actual police we have now, the training, their equipment, their intelligence gathering, their response times, and those are all valid conversations and concerns. I just do not believe that state police is a silver bullet. I think in Nigeria oftentimes we're trying to look for a quick fix instead of doing the hard work of reform, and that requires us to actually do work to get to the results we need, which is to end these kidnappings and terrorism and banditry and the kidnapping industry that we have been able to create essentially and entrench in our country. I just do not see state police as the answer to that, but that's my opinion. I wonder what you guys think.
I've made up my mind to ensure that my officers get to know that we are working for the people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and the citizens of the country are our bosses. The committee was set up early this morning to look into the issue of state police from the angle of the Nigerian police. We don't want it to seem as if others are taking decision and we, the most important people concerned, did not do anything. We want to ensure that the best thing is done. State police has come to stay, and the police should be able to contribute their own part in making it succeed. The police are not afraid, our jobs are not being taken, it's just an issue of partnership.
Known to me as Inspector General of Police, except as may be required for the due discharge of my duties as Inspector General of Police, and that I will devote myself to the service and well-being of the people of Nigeria. So help me God.
Bringing law and order to the table. Like I mentioned earlier,